Good morning, you guys. This is Jonathan with A&J Lawn Care. Today I want to talk about a new purchase. I actually had to buy me a 22-inch mower. Replacing the old 21 Craftsman. I think it's 6.25 horsepower, I think it is. I'm replacing it with the new Toro. I think it's the Smart Stove. Let me see. Hey, so you guys can see what it looks like. There she is, brand new. Purchased it the other day at the Home Depot. I think it was about $330 plus taxes. So it's not bad. It's a lot bigger than the other one for sure. So let me get her out of here and get her all set up. There she is. The Toro mow and stow. So I believe you're able to stow it standing up and it wouldn't leak. But this is it. It's a 3-in-1, so it comes with the bagger unit. It comes with the a mulcher. And it comes with a side discharge. Where? Comes with a side discharge, so if you were to use it, it would go there. And so far, I'm really impressed. One of the features that I like is that this knob right here, you twist it. It's not like the old ones where you gotta unscrew the whole thing and the whole front. You can just store it. So that's pretty sweet. You don't gotta be fighting it to make sure the screw don't come out all the way. All you gotta do is you have different heights. So if you're a tall person, I guess you would go to the first one. And if you were shorter, I guess you would go to the bottom one. So that's pretty sweet. And the sticker says, it talks about the fuel and the oil. So it doesn't allow you to use E15 and E85. So I guess you gotta use the old ethanol or free ethanol, I guess. So before we get her, and also comes with, it's pretty sweet. My other mower didn't come with this, but this one comes with a feature if you want to wash it underneath. That way you don't have to be going underneath, and you just connect the hose here. Just connect the hose and it starts cleaning itself. So I believe this goes all the way from 1 inch to 4 inches, which is pretty sweet. You know, most grass you would cut like about maybe 2.5, 3, 3.25. I don't think you ever cut 4 inches unless it's really tall. But yeah. So let me put the bagger unit. That way you see what it looks like. So that's what she looks like with the bagger and the mulch. Well, not the mulch, the side discharge. Pretty sweet. And this is a front wheel drive, I believe. So it looks like it's gonna start raining, and then I wanted to try her out, but I guess I'm gonna have to wait for another video. But this is it, guys. This is the Toro mow and stow. Hopefully I'll make a video soon when I start to use it. I only use it for very small properties. The old one, the old mower was, it was a push mower. So it didn't even run on wheels. I mean, like, you had to push it, you know, it was tall grass and you're fighting it. Not only that, you know, this one has more horsepower. It's automatic. The wheels in the back are larger, which is what I like about them. And one of the features that I like about this is that each wheel, you can change the height. On the other mower, one side of the wheel or the axle lifts both sides. So if it was on the right side, then the right side lifts the left side. and as well as the rear. If the right side had the handle, you lift both sides. And one of the things that I hated was I had it for years, 7 years. So what more do you want for 7 years, right? And not too long ago, about a week ago, I had to rinky dinky the front. I had to use some tie wraps because the axle's all connected, and I guess one of the plastics that hold the axle or one of the pieces underneath, it just broke, and the front is starting to nosedive when you're mowing, and every few minutes you have to readjust it. So I had to improvise, and I used some tie wraps and trying to hold it to pace just to get the job done. And I wanted to save some of the money so I can purchase a new mower. Well, this time I wanted to purchase a self-propel, not no push mower. The last thing you want to do is have a whole mess of yard you're push mowing. Regardless that I don't like taking on jobs that I got to push mow unless they pay reasonable, and it has to be in an area where I'm already there. And I'll hate to do a whole yard push mowing. That's why you get the zero turns or the walk behinds, all the big stuff, because they can tackle mean stuff. But this area is where you can't fit a big mower, so you have to use a 21 or a 22. And the old one, I guess, I had it for years, and it just started to crap out. I only paid, I bought it at Sears about 6-7 years ago, and it cost me about $250 plus tax. This one, for an extra $50, you get an automatic. So I figure that machine went through a lot, I gotta tell you. And the engine, I've never had an engine problem, and it's the same engine as the Briggs & Stratton. Now it probably has the smaller horsepower, smaller cc, but I've never had an issue with the engine. So that's a good thing. The mower still sits there. I might just fix it up and have it as a backup, but for now I'm gonna end up using this one. I don't want to be push mowing, man, especially if you're a single owner operator. The last thing you want to do is be pushing a 1/4 acre lot, unless you have to. But with new technology, man, come on, you gotta get that thing going. I wonder how fast it goes. It's raining now, so I don't want to try now. But my first impressions are this thing looks pretty beefy. To tell you the truth, it looks pretty serious. Let me give you guys another walkthrough before I put it away. It's not bad. Pretty good investment, I guess. We'll just have to see how she do. One of my other purchases that I did also that came in the mail, I've ordered it through Amazon. I got, you always got to have hedge trimmers or hedge shears. Now, you always need to have 2 different sizes. Either you have the long shaft or you have a short shaft. There's always pros and cons on when it comes to hedge trimming. I've been hedge trimming for a while, for the longest now, with the Stihl, and I think it's the HK. Oh, it's the long shaft one. It's not the one that the tip bends. It's the long straight shaft that Stihl makes. I had it for years now. But when it comes to hedge trimming small bushes, it doesn't get into tight spots. You start to having issues because the bar is so long. So you need to either hand prune them. If the bush is really close to 2 walls on a house, you can trim that slight curve. It doesn't give you that access. Plus, it's after a while, that big unit, your shoulders start to hurt. Sorry about the light, you guys. But I purchased this time a battery power unit. I could have gone with a battery power Stihl unit, but you know what? I'm gonna try her out and see how she does. I actually purchased the Dewalt. I think it's Pro Series landscaping shears or battery power. It actually comes with a 40-volt max. So I think this is one of the top of the lines I think they sell. I bought it on Amazon. It came in like 2 days ago. It actually has a 7.5 amp battery. A while back, about a week ago, I had looked at it, and they had offered the same battery power with the 4 amp for like maybe like $40 less, I think it was. But when I decided to have the money and ready to purchase it, they didn't have that one. And I didn't want to get the weak, the small battery power one. So I figured, you know what, this one showed up. It actually cost about $300. But, with the taxes through Amazon and ours, it came out to like $320. So let me show you what she looks like. Check that baby out. Let me get her unboxed. That way we can actually see a closer look at it. This is actually to be the first time me opening it. There she is. So this is the DCHT 8060, or I think the B, 40-volt max lithium hedge trimmer with a 7.5 amp battery. Damn. Look at this battery, man. I don't think I've ever seen a battery so bulky. Damn, this thing weighs like 5 pounds. Look at that. And it even tells you this is the battery source. So it has a little bit of battery. I gotta charge it. But look at the trimmer. Oh man, that thing looks so sharp. It's not too heavy actually. Maybe with the battery it'll feel heavier. It's a 22-inch. This thing's really sharp. You can actually cut yourself. So first impressions, man. I was gonna go with a Husqvarna, but I think it was a small version. I think the really large one that I wanted to get cost like $500, but I just didn't have the money for that, so I went with this model. And I decided not to go with the cheap model. I guess it's the next scale up or the next 2 steps up. But she looks pretty beast. This thing's gonna get me to tight spots. Let me put the battery on and see what she does. So she's not heavy and she's not light. She looks like a beast. Nice 22-inch blade, really sharp. So that's a pro. I guess you're able to tackle about 1/2-inch limbs to 1 inch. So that's pretty good. Has an easy access out. Has a safety feature, so you don't mess around or you put your fingers in the front. So you push down on this little trigger, and here's the handle. So that's not bad. And see how much battery she has. Pretty beast. I like the unit actually, for $320. I actually put in I think it was like 3 or 4 year insurance plan through Amazon, just for longer I think. So I guess the insurance plan kicks in after the factory one. So I think this thing has about a 3-year experience. I don't know where the box is at, but it has nice grip. So if you want to tackle those hedges, man, pretty strong built. I've always operated Dewalt drills, impact wrenches, and never had an issue. The only thing the issue is with the battery power units is like you have to use them. You can't just use them and then not use them again for the longest. The batteries, they're like your phones, you know, like small units. After a while, the battery drains all the way to its low, and then when it wants to recharge, it just doesn't give you that jump start to restart it. So you have to use them. You can't just use it and then reuse it the next time, like for about a month maybe. You know, I'm gonna try it out. You know, most of the time when I'm doing hedge trimmers, I only hedge trim like every 2 weeks if I have to. You know, I usually get everybody in a cycle, but sometimes I'll rotate them. Like this week I'll hedge trim some yards, and then next week I'll do other yards. That way, if you do it all at once, then you're gonna get tired. But you know, with these battery ones, I think that shouldn't be a problem. You know, having a couple days or a week or so without being used. So, pretty good battery. It has an easy. You press this, there's a button right here. There's a button you press here, and it just releases it. This big ass battery. Yeah. Alright, you guys, this is the Dewalt 22-inch 7-amp battery power unit. Pretty good. Maybe I should have bought me this a while back. So, one last thing I wanted to talk about. And this is going to come out to edger blades. What do you guys prefer? You guys prefer to buy them in bulk? Do you guys prefer to buy them from the dealer? I think they sell them like 10 for $10. Sometimes they sell them for 12 for 10 edger blades. That's how I normally used to buy them. So this time I bought a pack of 50 edger blades, and it's a really familiar brand. It's actually made by Copperhead. You know, it's was mostly all the blades. Either it's Oregon or Copperhead, or I think there's another brand. So it all, you know, when you go buying from the dealer, you get 10. Some dealers have them for $10 a piece, and some have them for like $1.50 a piece, which is, it comes out to I think about $12 plus taxes. Well, this time I just hate it running out of blades, and you got to go back and forth. And if you buy them from the dealer, you know, you buy the 50 pack, you're gonna want to spend like $50. I know that's crazy, right? You know, you can spend that at an initial in the front or in the long run. So this time I actually got them real cheap. I went online and I got them for about $36.50 for a pack of 50. If you do the math, it comes to like between 70 and 80 cents a blade. Let me show you what they look like. So this is the Copperhead, and it's your standard edger blade. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is what 50 look like. Oh no, trust me. When they got them in the mail, I made sure I counted them. And I want to make sure I didn't get stiff. You figure they put 40 in here, not the 50. But no. Check this out. See your standard edger blade? I think it comes in its natural color. Some come in black, but this one comes like in a dark gray. And I think it has about a 1-inch hole. I think that's what the edgers require. This is the... Let me see if you can zoom in there. That's the serial number for the blade. So it's pretty thick actually, if you think about it. You know, it's your standard blade for sidewalk edging. You know, a lot of people would rather prefer to buy them in single, or would rather prefer to buy them in bulk. This is my first time buying it in bulk. Last time I went to the dealer, when I purchased, actually I purchased a new blower. I'll make another video on that one. But I purchased I needed to get some edge blades. I was running low, and I asked them what the price is for. So they told me it's about $1.50 for a pack of 10 each. It's $1.50 each blade for a pack of 10. Because it comes out to like $12, I think it was. But he says if you buy the whole bulk, it's about a dollar a blade, so it's $50. Well, I got all these for $36 and change. So it's not bad. I've used this brand before. You know, the companies I used to work for, they use this brand. You know, it all depends on how you edge. You know, if you edge really deep, the blade's gonna go out. You know, most edgers, they come with a wheel. That wheel, you gotta adjust it to a certain height. That way you don't eat the blade. If you get too close to the concrete and you're just basically grinding off the concrete, obviously it's gonna wear fast. You know, all blades, if you think about it, they're made out of the same material, the same steel. Either one is coated black or the other one is not. It's gonna run the same. Okay, so you want a prettier blade, so you're gonna get it black, right? Or you just wanna get the natural blade. Sometimes the black ones cost a little bit more. Who got money to be spending on blades, you know? They wear out pretty quick, to tell you the truth, you know? It all depends on how you edge. If you're edging all day, straight up sidewalks, you know, driveways, obviously they're gonna burn out. You know, maybe if it's a small yard, you don't use an edger, you'll probably use the weed whacker, and that's fine. The only thing is, I don't like edging that way. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, and I'm not the worst, but the edging when I weed whack with the weed whack the sidewalks or edge the sidewalks with the weed whacker comes out pretty good. I just don't like it. You know, you burn out more string, and you tend to pick up a lot of debris that's on the, you know, little pebbles, rocks, everything. The last thing you want is for something to go out a window, you know, blow out a car's window or house window. You know, that's important for why you need to have a general liability. A lot of people, you know, constantly change the blades every day because they're using them. But I best figured that one of my old supervisors told me years ago, the best way to change the blade is you use your fingers and you measure from the hole. They say it's usually between 3 to 4 fingers. So let me show you what that looks like. If you grab the edger blade, normally, if you figure, it's about 5 fingers. Give or take 5 fingers, you know. The thumb don't go all the way, but you figure. So normally you'll change the blade maybe when it gets to 3 fingers maybe. Or sometimes you'll be able to tell when you'll be able to tell that the edger, there's a shim underneath the blade or underneath the unit. If you start scraping that a lot, you're gonna wear that off, and then it's gonna cost money to replace that there's a little shim. I don't have an edger with me right now, but there's a little shim underneath, and if the lower you go, you're gonna start shaving it. And at some point, I've seen guys that they go through that and that thing's falling apart. Then you got to get it all replaced. And it's just a mission. So sometimes I go by about 3 fingers of the measuring distance, and that's still a good amount because you get 3 on each side. It's about 6 inches. You know, give or take 8 inches of a blade compared to the blade. I don't know. I think your standard blade is about 8 inches. You can go up to like maybe a little bit less than 6 inches. But sometimes, you know, you get those yards where they've never been edged. You need to have a new blade. It's like fact that, you know, new blade on a new property that hasn't been edged in who knows how long, it's gonna cut right through it, you know. With an old blade, man, you're gonna be fighting it. And especially if you had a weed whacker, maybe you'd probably be fighting it too. But I always seen that, you know, sometimes, you know, when I'll put a new blade when I have to, when it's a new property that hasn't been touched in a while, and it does pretty good. So that's it, guys. I had 2 new purchases, you know, a push mower, or not a push mower, a self-propelled mower, and the Dewalt head shears. As soon as I get a chance, you know, in the next few days, I'll probably do some recording on it and give an actual review on how the product works and all that. So if you guys have any questions, just leave any comments, or, you know, and then I'll be happy to reply. All right, you guys, thank you very much. Peace.